High Noon is a lean, stark deviation from the mythic romanticism of the American Western. Clocking in at a precise 85 minutes, the film operates in near real time, stripping away the genre's usual sprawling vistas in favour of a claustrophobic, ethical pressure cooker. Presenting a social dilemma that serves as a thinly veiled critique of McCarthy-era isolationism and the fragility of communal courage, this is a story of a lawman abandoned by the town he protected, left to face a looming threat in a vacuum of civic cowardice. Often imitated but never bettered, it's still one of the greatest Western thrillers ever made. The Eureka Video 4K UHD turns in a fine job of preserving this black and white classic on home video. Encoded by the industry-leading fidelity and motion, the disc manages the fine grain of the original photography with a transparency that avoids the digital artifacts seen in lesser releases. The high bitrate presentation stabilizes the stark, high-contrast exteriors that defines the film's visual identity, resolving the textured grain pleasingly and filmically. Visually, this betters all previous Olive and Eureka Blu-ray versions and strongly rivals the Kino Lorber US 4K release. The plot follows Will Kane, played by Gary Cooper, a long-serving marshal who has just turned in his badge to marry his Quaker bride Amy, played by Grace Kelly, and start a peaceful life. His retirement is instantly derailed by news that Frank Miller, a violent killer Kane sent to prison years prior, has been pardoned and is arriving on the noon train to seek revenge. While his new wife and the town elders urge Kane to flee, his conscience forces him back into town to organise a posse. The narrative tension builds as Kane moves from the church to the local tavern, pleading for assistance, only to be met with excuses, resentment, and flat-out refusal from the citizens he once spent his life protecting. As the clock ticks towards 12, the townspeople retreat behind closed doors, leaving Kane to walk the main street alone. The music and editing set the benchmark for Hollywood suspense. Dmitri Tiomkin's rhythmic ballad functions as a sonic countdown, while the editing sharpens the conflict through constant, timely cuts to the station clock, culminating in a showdown both between Kane's physical enemies and ideological. High Noon is a vital, uncompromising piece of cinematic history that remains as impactful today as it was in 1952. By stripping the Western down to its minimalist essence, director Zinnemann created a work that transcends genre to become a universal study in individual conscience. The Eureka 4K disc ensures that this appointment with death is preserved in its most stable and visually striking form. It is essential, lean, and utterly devastating. That's all from us at The Last Disc on Earth, and remember, come the apocalypse, physical media will prevail.